The other thing about getting rid of your government is you can't just say, well, the limits of the government are the limits of the formal government. You have to say, well, what is
So
this
casual.
actually? And it includes a lot of things that are called NGOs, things that are called universities, things that are funded by the state. It's a very, very large system, and it all needs to be destroyed.
Excuse me?
Fortunately, there's a lot of
Who is this
talented
guy?
Americans who actually know how to run things and make things work and are generalists. And you can just get these people, put them in a position of responsibility, and have them do their thing. And finally, you need a CEO, and a national CEO is what's called a dictator. It's the same thing. There's no difference between a CEO and a dictator. If Americans want to change their government, they're going to have to get over their dictator phobia.
They're gonna have to get over their dictator phobia. One person controls the economy of an entire country. One person. He calls them a CEO. Sounds like communism to me. Look at him, so cool, out in the woods. Look at my leather jacket. Yeah, I want to end your 248-year-old Democratic Republic for a dictatorship, but check me out in this jacket that's too big for me. A genius of a man working on his computer in the middle of the woods with the same confused look he has on his face that my dog has when I sit her down and try to explain to her the reasons we don't on the carpet. This guy must be a Bernie supporter, a CEO of a country. Gotta get over your dictator phobia. He must be AOC's inspiration. He must be the person Sarah Palin said Obama was palling around with. Is that too old of a reference by now? I don't know. This guy's name is Curtis Yarvin. He's talking about dictator phobia in the United States of America. America in the year 2024. You wouldn't want me saying that in these parts, Curtis. Oh, no. I got 1776 written on my sleeve. You're talking about a dictator. I'm part of the 3%ers. That means I got 3% of a penis in my pants. It's like an iceberg, right? So, like, when I sit down, most of it goes inside here, and then 3% sticks out. Watch out, Jack. Don't eat my 3% iceberg penis. Curtis Yarvin, who before this legendary photo shoot had not left his basement in a decade. The same people who will cry, don't step on my snack. Don't step on my snack. Even the boot that steps on the snack is telling you not to step on the snack. Spider-Man pointing gif on that one. These completely self-aware 1776, 3% of the tip show and don't step on snake. They have no place for Curtis Yarvin. Curtis Yarvin, whatever. In a freedom-loving, patriotic country.
Our leaders right now are so corrupt and so vile that if you assimilate into their culture, you're assimilating into like garbage liberal elite culture. You're not assimilating into traditional American culture. And so this is a tough pickle for me. I don't even know what the right answer is here, because you can't teach these things. You can't teach that we live in a great country if the leaders are actively aligned against it. So almost the thing that you need to do, step one in the process, is to totally replace, like rip out like a tumor, the current American leadership class,
out like a tumor,
and then reinstall some sense of American, political religion.
Said something that I would like to zero down on. How do we effectively, quote, rip out the disgusting leadership class?
Say it.
Oh, man.
Say it.
I mean,
because let me expand on that just a second. Because and I'm going to give you a little cover here, because it's not just
negative charisma.
I mean, obviously elections. That's one thing. Okay. But unfortunately, this evil leadership class has already taken over all of our institutions. Current pipeline is to turn them into those people that we just called evil and disgusting. How do we, aside from elections, how do we rip out this leadership class? So these institutions are corrupted and rotted to the core. This elite ideology is everywhere and in all the things. What other options do we have besides voting them out, which we're seeing is ineffectual?
What other options?
Yeah. So again, this is like a tough question, but this is maybe the question that confronts us right now. There's this guy, Curtis Yarvin, who's written about some of these things.
The guy in the woods. The guy in the woods, the Republican ticket. This vice president is on the ticket, right? In one of the longest democratic republics. He subscribes. You just heard the conversation. How do we get him out there without elections? Very casually saying it. He subscribes to the writings of the man in the woods saying, you and me, Americans, 1776, have to get over our dictator phobia. Rip out democracy like it is a tumor. Right? It's a republic. It's a republic. I saw it on a meme. We're not a democracy. It's a republic. Okay, rip out the republic like a tumor. There, you happy, Scooter? You people are morons. And what makes it even worse is when you become pendactic morons. This is who they're voting for. And I'm starting to think the only useful thing about that number on their sleeve, 1376, these alpha males right here, the only useful thing that 1776 means to them is to help them remember the code to unlock their iPhones. And you know 98% of the people that look like this have 1776 as the code to unlock their phones. If you ever take it, that would be the first thing I would try. What was my code? Just look at your sleeve, Scooter. Oh, yeah. 1776. I felt like it had another meaning. But you're right. That is just to open my phone. Let's start the show.
Trump